You guys, I almost got abducted. I'm not even lying. Like, this is not clickbait. Maybe an exaggeration, but it's not clickbait. It did happen. So I was on my computer just editing the video that I just posted about the racist guy at the airport, and out of nowhere I just get a phone call, which is odd because in this day and age, like, nobody calls. Like, it's just text message or email. So I found that a bit odd, and what was even odder, the phone call was from Mexico. I have never received a phone call from Mexico. Maybe one time. So, you know, out of curiosity, maybe it's an emergency, it's a family member, I answer the phone call. So the guy at the other end of the line is using kind of like a familiar tone, and he's like, "Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm sorry, who is this?" "Oh, it's me, your cousin from Mexico." "Oh, which cousin?" "You know, your cousin from Mexico, from all the family that you have in Mexico." So at this point I'm like, okay, why aren't you just telling me your name? Who are you? Why are you having me guess? Which, keep it in mind, is the first red flag. Well, actually, the first red flag is answering a number that you do not know, that you do not recognize. I have a lot of family, so you know you have to tell me your name. "Oh, it's me, Juan, your cousin, you know, from your mom's side." Well, it just so happens that I do have a cousin named Juan from my mom's side. And my mistake was saying the following. "Oh, Juan, from my tia Maribel. How are you?" And so from there, you know, we're like, "Oh, it's all good. We've been just working and then blah, blah, blah." But he's not really giving me any specifics, which that should be flag number like 3 or 4 or 5. And so then he says, "Yeah, that's me. So I'm at the airport and blah, blah, blah. So what's up? Why are you calling me? Like, what do you need? I just got here at the airport in LAX and I was wondering, you know, if you could pick me up." So at this point, you know, I was like, oh, that's odd. Usually you call somebody before you leave your city to make sure that they will be at the airport in time to pick you up. So that was another red flag that I probably should have noticed. Yeah, I can pick you up. I live kind of far away from the airport, but if you give me a couple hours, I can be there. "Oh yeah, no problem. I'm still in line getting my papers checked and all that bull crap. I'll call you when I'm out." So at this point, we had agreed that I would go pick up my cousin Juan from my tia Maribel at the airport. But something in the back of my mind was like, okay, this is a very odd call because he wouldn't give me specifics about who he was. He just said Juan. You know, that was just a name. But that's all the information he provided, which I do have a cousin whose name is Juan. But as a Mexican, I think that's like very common. So I go downstairs and I'm like, "Mom, I just had the weirdest phone call. Juan, my cousin from my tia Maribel, said that he's at the airport and that he wants me to go pick him up. I don't think your cousin has a passport." "Oh, really? Because, yeah, he said he's my cousin Juan from my mom's side, and he asked me if I could go pick him up at the airport." So then I went on to explain, you know, how the entire conversation went like word by word, and she's like, "Yeah, that sounds really sketchy. I don't think that's your cousin Juan, but he says he was my cousin Juan from my mother's side." "Did you guys talk on any specifics? Did you talk about anything that's concrete? Maybe a childhood memory or something?" "No, not really. It was like a very plain conversation." I'm gonna text her on and see what she says. I was still thinking, you know, maybe it is my cousin. It sounds very sketchy, but it could be my cousin. So I go and get ready, take a shower just in case, while my mom talks to my aunt. So then I get out of the shower and my mom's like, "You are so stupid. I just talked to your aunt and Juanito is right there at the house." "Oh, that's really weird. You stupid boy, you were about to get abducted or killed or sold for parts." "Mom, I know what Juan looks like. I would have known if it was him or not before I let them into my car, obviously." "Well, what makes you think that they were gonna give you a choice?" So at this point, I am kind of feeling embarrassed. Because the signs were there, so I should have been smarter about it. He was gonna call me again, so, you know, I was still waiting for the next phone call. And now knowing all this, when he calls back, I confront him. Or I kind of like question him a little bit more and see what he says. "Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, it looks like I'm gonna be delayed a little bit. Don't worry about it. Hey, which aunt did you say that you were from?" And when I asked him this, he was kind of like, he paused a little bit. "Oh, you know, from your mom's side. I'm your cousin." "Yeah, but which one of my aunts is your mom exactly?" "What? you have a lot of cousins whose name is Juan. Don't you remember me? You know, I don't remember you, and if you don't give me a straight answer, I'm gonna have to hang up. And so when he heard me say this, obviously he didn't have anything else to say, so he hung up. And at this point, my dad was right by my ear listening to the conversation. You're gonna get yourself killed one of these days. And so in the moment after all this happened, I remembered that a couple of months ago I went to Reno, Nevada to visit family and friends, and one of my cousins in Reno, Nevada told us a story about something similar that happened to her. But in this moment today, I didn't think about it. I didn't make the connection. So she was telling us how this number from Mexico, the same place where I got the call from, I don't know if it's the same number, probably not, but you know, it was like the same situation. And so the guy starts telling her, oh hey, it's me, I'm a friend of your cousins or something like that. And you know, it was the same thing, no straight answer, just like, oh, a friend of your family, a friend of your cousins, whatever. Well, it turns out that this is a thing. You'll get phone calls from random numbers, and these people go onto your Facebook, just onto random people's Facebook, and look at your information, and based on that, they'll try and get you to meet up with them in these certain places where they can abduct you, sell you to slavery, or kill you and sell you for parts. None of those are good choices. So from now on, what I will do, and what I am recommending you to do, the viewer, please don't answer phone calls whose number you do not recognize. Unless, you know, it's like from a company or like a bill or something, but usually if you don't answer, they will leave a voicemail, which then you can call back, which I suggest is the proper thing to do. As for me, I have learned from my mistake. Like in retrospect, that was a really stupid call, and I don't know why I fell for that. And just for precautions, this right here is the number that called me from Mexico. If you get a phone call like this, do not answer it. And if you get a phone call and you do answer it, just make sure that you ask. Ask for specific details that you know the other person will know. They might know the names of your relatives and of yourself, but they won't know specific details that you know and, you know, your family or friend knows. So make sure that you kind of get them to talk, because they'll be like, and if they start saying really plain answers, you know that that's a no-go, and just hang up or say, you know what, I'm calling the cops. If you say you're calling the cops, they'll hang up for sure in a second. Anyways, that is my experience with fucking wrong-ass, random-ass phone numbers. That is why I don't make phone calls, and I don't accept phone calls. I don't know why. I saw that it was from Mexico. I thought it was maybe a family member, and it turns out I could have been abducted. I hope my experience serves as a lesson for you. Do not answer random phone numbers. People who you don't know. And if you do, make sure you get specifics. That is all for me today. That has been a PSA announcement from Alfonso. I wish for your safety. Which, by the way, I just saw in the news about the Manchester attack at Ariana Grande's concert. I just want to send on my thoughts and positive energies to the people affected by this horrible situation. And I wish you the best, and I hope you all get better. And if this has happened to you or somebody you know, that you got a phone call and it was really weird and they asked you to meet up with them in a certain area or a certain place, let me know down in the comments. The more people that share their experiences, the more other people will learn from them and hopefully avoid them. Anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, I will see you next time.